Hello everyone, welcome to another video in the Deploying MindsDB series. In this video, we will be deploying MindsDB using a GCP cloud instance. So let's get started. In order to complete this tutorial, we will be needing a GCP account. So if you don't have one yet, you can sign up for a free account by going to cloud.google.com/free. So you'll be getting 300 USD worth of credits to try their services and you'll be good to go for this tutorial. So once you have signed up, you can simply log into your account. After you are logged in, you will land up in a dashboard which will look something like this. So as you can see, it is a welcome message over here, and here it is my first project. So if you don't want to work on the first project, you can change it as well. You can simply click on this one. Then you can go over to this new project, and then you can just give a project name over here. And then we haven't really created any organizations, so you can leave it and you can simply give a name here. Then you can say create. That will create a new project for you. So let's go back and let's change it. I have already created a project called MindsDB demo. So I'll select this one. Now what we want to do is create a VM. So you can see this first option over here which says create a VM. So I'll simply click on this one. So this will open create a new VM instance page. And as this is the first time I am doing this, we need to enable this Compute Engine API. This is a one-time thing to do. Once you enable it, it will not ask you further. So let's enable this one. So once the API is enabled, it takes us to the create an instance page. So here we need to provide the configuration for the VM that we want to create. So let's get started with that. So the first one is name. We will change it to MindsDB demo. Now the second thing is region. So try to select something which is closer to your geographical location. I'll go with something in Asia. It should be Asia South 1 Bombay. And then the zone is like we have 3 availability zones and we can select any one of that. So I'll let it be South 1 C. Then for the machine configuration, the family will be general purpose, the series will be E2, and for the machine type, let's try to go for something better. So I'll say a E2 standard 4. And as you will be selecting these configurations over here, you can see the monthly estimate will be automatically, getting updated. So you can have a check on what is the final estimate. Now coming below this one, display device, we don't need to check this one, and also confidential VM service, we don't want to enable it, and we are also not deploying any container. In the boot disk section, we have the name, we have a persistent disk, the size is 10 gigs. We want to increase this one, and the image is Linux, we will change it to Ubuntu. So let's click on this change, and from here let's change the operating system first. We will click on Ubuntu, and then from the version we'll go for something latest, say 22.04, and then you can keep it as persistent disk, or let us change it to SSD. And for the size, we will upgrade it to 30 gigs, and then we'll click on select. So now the configurations are applied, and also the monthly estimate has increased. Now for the identity and API access, let us go for allow full access to all cloud APIs. So we will select this one, and in the firewall rules, let us check this one. We want to allow the HTTP traffic to the machine, and also we can check this one as well. We want to allow the HTTPS traffic as well. Then for the advanced options, we don't really need to touch it. We can leave it as it is. Now simply we'll click on this create button to create this instance. So this will take a while. As you can see, the machine is provisioning now. Okay, so now you can see the status here is a green tick mark and it says the instance is running. So our virtual machine is good to go. We can now start performing things in it. So what I will do now is I will click on this SSH to connect. So we have this console opening up here. So let us wait till it loads up. Okay, so as you can see, the console is loaded now, and we are logged in as the default user account at the rate MindsDB demo. One thing to note here is we are not logged in as the root user. So for each and every command that we want to execute in this terminal, we have to use sudo with it. So the first thing we want to do here is install Docker. So let's get started with that one. But as we get a suggestion here, let's update the package indexes. So to do that, we'll do a sudo apt update. I'll copy it and I'll paste it here, and then we can hit enter. So this will update the package indexes present in the machine. So what we'll do now is we will go for the Docker installation. So the command will be sudo apt get install docker.io, and I will hit enter now. So it is asking whether we want to continue. I will type Y and hit enter once again. So it will take a while to download and install Docker on the machine. So let's wait. Okay, so Docker is installed now. So let us check whether Docker is running properly or not by running the hello world. So we'll say Docker run hello world, and we'll hit enter. Okay, so this didn't get executed as we forgot to add the sudo before Docker. So let us run it again. Sudo Docker run hello world. So as I told you before, you are not logged in as the root user. So always use sudo with every command, or else you will not be able to execute it. So let us hit enter now. So if we get back the hello from Docker message, then Docker is properly installed. So yeah, we got the message here, hello from Docker. So this confirms that the image is properly installed. Now the next thing we want to do is pull the latest stable release of MindsDB using Docker. So let's do that. We'll say sudo docker pull MindsDB / MindsDB, and we'll hit enter now. So this will take a while to pull the latest image and extract it. So let's wait till the pull is complete. Okay, so the pull is complete now. The next thing we want to do is run this MindsDB image and also expose the specific ports that we need for the MindsDB GUI and also for the data transaction. So let's write that command and run this one. We'll say sudo at the beginning, followed by docker run, then -p for the first port. It will be 47334. So 47334 will be used by the HTTP API, and we will find the MindsDB GUI on this port. And then I'll say -p again for the other port. It will be 47335. So this port will be used for the data transactions by the MySQL API. And then we'll specify what we want to run. It's MindsDB / MindsDB. So the command looks something like this: sudo docker run -p 47334 -p 47335 and MindsDB / MindsDB. So let's hit enter and run this one. So it will take a while to get started. Initially the APIs will start, the MySQL, HTTP and MongoDB. And finally we'll get a message on this console saying that they have started on this port. So let's wait till we get that message. So here, as you can see, we got the messages that they are starting, these 3 APIs. Now let's wait till we get the message that they have started on this port. Okay, so now as you can see, the MySQL API has started on this port. MongoDB has started on this port, and HTTP API has started on this one. So now what we want to do is explore the MindsDB GUI. So the way to do that is copy the public IP of the virtual machine and then try to access it on the port 47334. So let's try to do that. Let's minimize this one, and here we have this external IP. I'll copy this one. So the internal IP is the private IP and the external IP is the public IP. So I have copied this one. I will go to a new tab and I will paste the IP, and then I will give a colon, and then I will say 47334 and I will hit enter. So let us see if we are able to fetch the GUI for MindsDB. Damn, we are not able to access the GUI. So did we do something wrong? Well, you don't need to worry about it. So the thing is that GCP blocks all the incoming traffic by default. So to access the GUI, we have to first add a firewall rule for the ingress traffic. Then we will be able to access this page. So let us go back to the instance page and then try to add a firewall rule. So I'll close this tab now, and we are back to the instance page. Here what we want to do, we want to set up a firewall rule. So I have this thing here, set up firewall rules. I'll click on this one. And then from here, we want to create a new firewall rule. So I'll say create. Now here for the name, we can give anything. It will be a MindsDB firewall for say. Then description, allow traffic for MindsDB. Now for the logs, it says it can generate a large number of logs, so we don't want to generate it, so we'll keep it off. So the network will be default, and the priority will be at 1000. We don't want to touch these fields. The direction of traffic is ingress. Action on match will be allow. We want to allow the traffic, and the targets will be specified target tags, and then the target type will be HTTP server. That is something we want to do. And then for the source filter, we want the IPv4 ranges, and in the source IPv4 ranges, we will go with 0.0.0.0/0. So what this means is that we want to allow all the IPv4 addresses to communicate with the instance. Then we don't want a second source filter. And then in protocols and ports, we will say specified protocols and ports. Then we will check this TCP, and then we will specify the ports as 47334 and 47335. And then we will simply go and click on this create to enable this firewall rule. So I will click on create. So it will take a while to get created and be applied to the instance. So let's wait for that. So as you can see, this one is ready now. The MindsDB firewall, we have allowed traffic for these ports. So now let us go back and let us try to access the GUI. So what we will do now is I will paste the IP address in the new tab once again, and then I will say 47334 and I will hit enter. So now it seems that we are able to access the GUI. It is taking a while to load, and there you go. So we are now in the MindsDB GUI. So as you can see, we have three main components on this GUI. The top one is the query editor. Here we write queries, and when you click on this run, we get the result in the bottom panel. So this is the result viewer, and towards the right section, we have the learning hub. You will find resources to learn about MindsDB in this section. So let us try to explore the default tables that are present in MindsDB when we launch the instance for the very first time. So I'll write a query saying show tables. Then I'll run this one and it returns a list of tables. So there are 3 tables present by default. The first one is predictors. So each and every predictor model you train, it is stored as an individual row record in this table. Then the second one is the predictors versions. So if you retrain a model, then versioning for that predictor model occurs. So this table stores the available versions for a predictor model and you have the ability to switch between them. And the third and the last one is the databases table, and it contains the list of all the databases that are connected to the MindsDB instance. So we have successfully deployed MindsDB on a GCP cloud instance now. Time to summarize. We created a GCP account. We then created a VM using GCP. The third thing we did was install a Docker on our virtual machine instance. Then we used Docker to install MindsDB. Then we added a firewall rule to allow the traffic for MindsDB. Then we explored the MindsDB GUI. And finally, we explored the default tables present in MindsDB. So that's all for this video. I hope you had a great time watching this video. So drop a like, subscribe to the channel and do share it with your friends. And before you leave, don't forget to drop a GitHub star on the MindsDB repository. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.